right, do a little test check. Or whenever people get here, just sort of jumped on here and did this one. Didn't really set it up. So probably have to wait a minute before anybody gets in here. We'll read off the finishing order while we wait on that. Kyle Busch, of course, gets the win. Luckily, I was wearing my Kyle Busch shirt when that happened. All right, so we are loud and clear. All right, the chat is working. So Kyle Busch wins. Ryan Blaney was second. Chris Buescher was third. Chase Briscoe was fourth. Brad Keselowski is fifth. He was my pick to win the race. My other pick to win the race, Eric Jones, finishes sixth. Another sixth at Talladega for Eric Jones. Maybe he needs to change his number to six. I don't know. William Byron is seventh. Christopher Bell, eighth. Daniel Suarez, ninth. Todd Gilliland, 10th. J.J. Yaley. Nobody's paying attention what J.J. Yaley's doing in this Rick Ware equipment, but he is continually just getting that nobody else has been able to get in these Rick Ware cars. Of course, Todd Gilliland also is just having a great run right now as well. So pretty good stuff from them. And then let's see, below them, Chase Elliott 12th, Tyler Reddick 13th, Alex Bowman 14th, Denny Hamlin 15th, Ricky Stenhouse 16th in a very mangled car. So Ricky Stenhouse just finishing the race. It's pretty awesome. Ty Dillon 17th, Justin Haley 18th, BJ McLeod with a top 20, 19th, Eric Almirola 20th, Kevin Harvick 21st, Ross Chastain 22nd, Austin Hill 23rd, Corey LaJoy 24th, 25th is Riley Herbst, Austin Cindric, Martin Truex Jr., Bubba Wallace, AJ Allmendinger, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, Michael McDowell, Harrison Burton, Zane Smith, and Austin Dillon, your last place finisher. So Alpha and Omega for RCR. They finished last and they finished first. Stage winners were the 9 car and the 10 car. So there you go. 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 25 seconds to complete this one. All right, let's see what you all want to talk about. Jeff Henson says, yes, sir, Mr. Bush. Yeah, so luckily, I was actually wearing this T-shirt for the race, so I didn't even have to change. So pretty cool how that worked out. Stu Putty says, I'm gutted for Noah. Looked like Chastain was getting pushed hard by the 5, and Noah just got crossed up. Tough deal. Yeah, it's hard. Noah Gragson was in a hard spot there. Like Ross Chastain pushed him, created a spot. Ross Chastain has to fill that gap. Noah Gragson, a little bit late on the block. I don't know if there's anything Noah Gragson could have done really any differently there. I don't know if there's anything Ross Chastain really could have done anything differently there. I feel the same way about Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. I don't know if there's anything different you do if you're Ryan Blaney. I don't know if there's anything different you do if you're Bubba Wallace. But because it's Ross Chastain, right, a lot of people are like, oh, Ross Chastain's an idiot. But really, the end of that race, all of those deals, that's just green, white, checkered flag, how you race to it. And that's one of the reasons I think we should get rid of the green, white, checkered flag, because they want to save these teams money. Get rid of the green, white, checkered flag. You'll save these teams a bunch of money, because it probably just should have ended under caution, and Ryan Blaney would have been your winner. Once again, Ryan Blaney, man. If one dude has bad luck, it's got to be Ryan Blaney. So let's see here. You think anything will come of Bush going under the yellow line to get the spot? I don't know. We'll have to wait for the official results. So I think it'll just be one of those things where it falls under avoiding the wreck. So I think he should be okay, but you never know. NASCAR likes to get litigious here recently with the penalties. KFB needs to play the lottery. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. He's on a roll right now. Terrible race for Logano. Goes from winning chance to speeding penalty and a wreck. Says Johnny 5 plays. Yeah, definitely wasn't his day. Jeff Henson says T-Bone. Yeah, so speaking of T-Bones, that T-Bone from Ryan Preece and Kyle Larson. Ryan Preece gassing up under a yellow flag has got to be one of the dumbest damn things I think I've ever seen in my life for somebody who wants to talk about some don't do that. And I like Ryan Preece, but that was so stupid. I was like, why would you? I don't get it. I don't get it. He was trying to shoot the gap and get by him. Yeah, but it was still stupid. Stupid. Just slow it down. Because like they said in the announcer's booth, that's the hardest car that we've made in NASCAR, stiffest, most rigid, and they've never seen even the other car get the rails bent like that. So him gassing up under caution, first off, is illegal, and secondly, is really freaking stupid. So hopefully that never happens again. And the way he took that lick, I don't think Ryan Preece is going to do it again himself, because it knocked his visor up. If NASCAR is putting on emphasis on cost cutting, why not get rid of overtime since so many cars get torn up for no reason? Says Chrome Diesel. I agree with you 100% on that one. Yeah, I'm saying the exact same thing over here. Roofer, what's going on, man? Quiet Cat says, good win for KB. Hate it for the Moose. Yeah, old Chastain, I don't know what he really could have done differently there. A lot of people are going to hate on him because it's Ross Chastain. But there was a gap. He filled that gap. Noah Gragson came down late. I wouldn't have done anything different if I'm Noah Gragson either. It's just one of those green, white, checkered situations that It's going to be what it is. What caused the 34 to cut a tire on the second lap, says one wise guy. They still haven't said anything about that yet. I don't know if it was a component failure. I don't know if they had the air pressures too low or what. So it's interesting. Mark Barnum saying, what's up to Roofer? Jeff Henson says, Adult Candy, talking about the sponsor here, which I'm not sponsored by the way. Let's see. This race was really good. Says, I'm probably going to say your name wrong. Oral. I'm just going to go with Oral. I'm just going to go OD because I think I'm going to say your name wrong. But this race was really good. Yeah, the ending of it was definitely really good. Sorry I didn't pronounce your name right there, OD. Duke Chronic says, hey, Baloney, Ross, seen a window. That was not a door. 10 got forced below the yellow line. Yeah, the 10 definitely got forced below the yellow line. Definitely a window and not a door. I agree with that. But it's Ross Chastain. He's aggressive. You got to know who you're racing with in that situation. But like I said, I don't know if anybody would have done anything different there, in my opinion. So it is what it is. I feel like Ryan Preece would have made the same move in that particular situation. So, I mean, I think even any driver that's aggressive is going to do the same thing there. BB, I'm sticking with my gut. Roofer talking about Kyle Busch getting 8 wins this year. So, yeah, I mean, you're well on your way. You got 3 through 2 series so far. Jeff Henson says, I liked it. It was a good race to me. I liked it too. There was a few moments in it that were sort of draggy, but we had a lot of green flag pit stops. It was a really good strategy race up until the very end. And then we got, the exciting finish at the end. I would have actually liked to see it play out under the green flag as well. I think either way this thing ended, it was going to be good. So I would say this was a pretty good race. The Ryan Preece Larson crash looked terrible, says Johnny Five Plays. Yeah, I don't understand because basically under caution, you're not supposed to gas up. I don't understand what he was doing gassing up, even if he thought he could make that. I don't know. I think you're just better off slowing down. So I don't know. Just I didn't agree with what he did there, but I understand what he was trying to do. I just think it was stupid. Mark Barnum, Bubba's block was 2 seconds late. Yeah, both of them were, the first one and the second one. Like it was, even if Blaney had got by him, I don't know if it would have helped him at that point because Bubba's blocks had slowed their momentum down so much. So I don't know. Roofer says, what's up to Mark? Jeff Henson says, cry, Bubba, cry. Joey for the win says, I hit that like button for my man, BB. Yeah, if you'd like to hit the like button, that would be much appreciated. Tony Engel says, TF. I can't say that one, but I got you. Yeah, that the overtimes are always sort of like that, right? They might Carl Edwards, Kyle for going under that yellow line, though, says Johnny Five Plays. I don't disagree with you, but I think there is a clause in that the yellow line rule where if you're avoiding a wreck, you can go below the yellow line. So it is what it is. I'm not going to be super mad if Ryan Blaney gets the win, though. I'll say that. Whoever was in second, though. I think Ryan Blaney was in second. Yeah, Ryan Blaney did end up second. So, I mean, I'm not going to be mad either way, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to give it to Kyle Busch there. Because I think under a wreck, you can go below the yellow line if you're avoiding the wreck, which I think he was doing in that moment. But I don't know. I'd have to see it on replay. Jeff Henson, Harvick had a great run. Yeah, a lot of people had a great run. Unfortunately, not a lot of people got rewarded for those great runs. Zane Smith's 37th place in Todd Gilliland's car. And Todd Gilliland getting that 10th place in the backup car, basically. So there you go. Larson seemed a bit off in his interview. I think Roofer, I think he was mad. I think he was really one of the rare moments he was mad and actually trying to hold it in and play it cool. That's what I sort of took away from it. He looked like he was sort of grinding his teeth, looked like he wanted to say something, but just didn't say anything because, what good's it going to do? Jeff Henson says, love the baloney. Appreciate it, Jeff Henson. I do my best, man. Stupid Roofer says, yikes. Zane Smith, 37th in Todd Gilliland's car. So it is what it is. Todd Gilliland got that 10th. So, I mean, it's a super speedway. You're going to get situations like that. Moulton said, it's official. It's getting hard to defend or even be a fan of Chastain if he keeps doing this type of stupid moves. I hate the people who are saying, oh, no, Noah made it. So it did. Chastain was just as guilty. I mean, it's the end of the race. You got to go for it. If you don't go for a win at the end of the race, what are you doing out there? Like, nobody's saying the same thing about Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. He's not getting the same heat that Ross Chastain is getting. It's the exact same situation that happened there, just 2 late blocks. And, well, it was a late block on Noah. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're going to see it how you see it, depending on who you pull for. Let's see here. Jeff Henson said it was on TV, just saying, says Jeff Henson. William Tire, like Bush said, winning Talladega is luck. Sometimes it can be, for sure. Definitely today, no doubt about it. Let's see. Zane Smith, 37th in Todd Gilliland's car. Todd Gilliland 10th place in the spare car. Yeah, Todd Gilliland is he's letting them know with performance that he is pretty much who he thinks they should go with for Front Row Motorsports. Napa Racing Fan says, I'm fed up with NASCAR overtime. I'm ready to go back to scheduled distance and remove stage cautions. Yeah, the stage cautions can go for sure. And I'm with you on that. Just go to the scheduled distance, no matter how it ends. Daniel Robertson says Ford can't buy a win. Or does it seem like these cautions are ruining the outcome? The cautions are definitely ruining the outcome. I agree with that 100%. Stu Putty said 42 viewers and 1 like. Come on, people. I mean, yeah, if you want to hit the like button, it would be much appreciated. It does help out the channel and the stream. So if you want to hit it, but don't feel pressure to. Let's see. Gilliland needs to go to SHR next year, says Mark Barnum. I think he would if he could. I don't know if that's an option for him just yet. 17 car was called the 3rd place finisher, says Duke Chronic. Yep, 17. Chris Buescher was in 3rd. I got the I guess the unofficial finishing order here. Jeff Henson, I think they crashed. I'm the one. Like y'all figure it out, says Quiet Cat. I meant Ford. I can't buy a win. I got you. I know what you meant, man. Yeah. So unfortunately, all the endings of these races have not gone in Ford's favor. That is a fact. I agree with you on that one. Both RFK cars in the top 5, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, so it was definitely a good day for them. A good day for a lot of people. Just a really wacky outcome because of the back-to-back green-white checkers. Keselowski had a top 5 locked before the Bubba crash, 100%. And yeah, I mean, and you can even go back before that. You know, both rookies were going to have good races locked in before the Noah Gragson Ross Chastain incident. I think JJ Yaley could have won. If there was one more green-white checker finish, he was flying, says OJ and Toothpaste. I mean, JJ Yaley, look at what he's doing in Rickware equipment, and people constantly want to talk about how bad he is. So I don't get that one. I think he's a good race car driver. Bubba is being invited to the White House, says Daniel Robertson. Jeff Henson, the one car going to R&D. I don't know. What's going on? I'm just joining, says Dwayne Lawson. What's up, Dwayne? Hope you're doing good. X-Dude says KFB. It was definitely KFB's day. It's a boys club, and Ross ain't in it, unfortunately, says Quiet Cat. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. They want to have bad guys, and they want to make him the bad guy right now. Bubba did 3 blocks, and in other series, it's blocking. Says Duke Chronic. Yeah, I mean, he threw the blocks. He was trying to win the race. I don't have a problem with what Bubba Wallace did either. I don't have a problem with what Noah Gragson did. I don't have a problem with what any of them did. I have a problem if you're a driver and you don't go for the win in that situation. So all 4 of those drivers, I have no problem with what they did. I'll defend all of them because I think what they were doing is the right thing. If you're in that situation and you just push a guy, that's when I'm going to question whether or not you want to win bad enough. Dead End Viper says KFB win. Bubba Wallace is mad, just how he likes to see the race end. So he is a KFB fan and not obviously a Bubba Wallace fan. Stupid Roofer, it was pretty rad to hear the crowd just erupt in cheers for Kyle Busch. Yeah, so that's pretty rare too. Who would have thought we would get a Kyle Busch win and he would get cheered last year when all the drama was going on. But now as soon as he went to RCR, new fan base apparently. That's because Chastain does this constantly, and the other 2 that have not done it as constantly as he did. So there's a reason why he gets criticized more than others, and he deserves it. So you're saying Noah Gragson doesn't race as aggressively, or didn't race as aggressively in the Xfinity Series as Ross Chastain. How many fights did Noah Gragson get in the Xfinity Series? I don't know if I'm following you here on this one, Moulton. Bubba Wallace intentionally wrecked Kyle Larson last year. So we've seen Bubba Wallace on road courses wreck Kyle Busch. So we have seen at least some of these other drivers. I haven't seen Blaney intentionally wreck anybody yet off the top of my head that I can remember, but I've seen the other guys drive aggressively. So I don't know. I've seen aggressive driving from all those guys except for maybe Blaney. Bubba made 3 moves in Indy and F1. They call that blocking. I was 100% blocking, 100%. But, I mean, that's what you have to do if you're the leader in these races if you want to win, because being the leader, ironically, in this particular style of racing is to your detriment if you're trying to win the race. That damage to Larson's roll cage is scary. If that was driver's side, says Race Grub, 100% agree with you. If that was driver's side, we're having a whole different conversation right now. I don't know if they even would have finished that race. So we're having a whole different conversation for sure. Well, I guess the race would have finished either way, wouldn't it? So I don't know. Or was that the second or first or second green white? I can't remember off the top of my head. Jeff Henson, maybe some fire coming. Could be. Napa racing fan. Dover is on FS1 next week, so Fox can show local paid programming. Dateline USFL, really Fox USFL over NASCAR. Yeah, it's one of those situations. Remember when they showed the preseason Panthers game in my local region over the NASCAR race, the Cup Series race? Everybody was up in arms about that around here. RCR wins again at Talladega, says Tim Brace. Yeah, so for those keeping score at home, that's 2 for Kyle Busch, 1 for Joe Gibbs Racing so far, 2 for Toyota, and 2 for Kyle Busch. So Toyota and Kyle Busch are locked up, though. Jeff Henson says RCR. I expect weather delays at Dover. Tim Brace saying 3 Chi. I think it's 3 Chi shirt. So yeah, Dover usually has some type of weather. Normally, if I remember correctly. Jeff Henson, yes, I like to see this. It's been a bizarre racing weekend for sure, no doubt about it. From everything I've watched, actually, Cars Tour had a crazy finish in both of their races yesterday, so everything's been sort of a crazy finish. Jeff Henson to the front, says Jeff Henson there. Say Kyle, I missed the pre-race show, made it to the post-race though. I told you earlier this week the 21 was going to find a way to wreck. Yeah, and somebody on here said at one point that Noah Gragson would be pushing Harrison Burton to the lead at some point. And actually, at one point in this race, that actually happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need them to pick some lottery numbers for me because we'll never be poor again. Let's see here. Molten Rage, I kind of wanted Bubba to spin out and take Busch out so Brad could win because Brad was right there next to Busch. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad about that because I did pick Brad Keselowski to win the race. So I wouldn't be super mad about that. Brian Kidder says, I hope NASCAR takes Larson's car to R&D Center to see what went wrong with the structure of the roll cage. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I want to see what happened there. Aside from a car gassing up and going 200 miles into the side of it, I still don't understand what Preece was thinking gassing up. I'm not going to get into it. It is what it is. It's a quick decision. You got to do something. Glad the Toyota's lost, says Daniel Robertson. So anti-Toyota man there. Jeff Henson said, I like how the 8 went as far from Bubba as he could. That was definitely the strategy. He said that. He said, I saw the 23 get sideways, and I just did everything I could to avoid him. That's why I'm saying I don't think he'll get hit with the yellow line rule, but we'll have to wait and see. Robin Mark says, howdy from Canada. I called Kurt's brother for the win. Poor Austin. Ross didn't flip, but I bet he made everyone mad. I've been making people mad this week myself. Make them mad, Ross, says Robin. So, yeah. He upset a few people, but then at the end of the day, he didn't do anything really any differently than a lot of people did at the end of this race as well. Joe Sample says Kyle Busch rules. He's definitely got it going on this year. Jeff Henson says KB. Sonny V says, guess they told Wallace not to make the pouty face after things didn't go his way. I don't know about that. He threw his Hans device on the ground. He didn't slam it, but I think he was really tired. I think he wanted to slam it, but I think he was just wore out after that race. I mean, look, man, the guy was leading, so I get the dejection and all that. So I'm not going to knock him on that one, but he did throw his Hans device on the ground. Molten Ray says, I'm talking about a stupid move Ross Chastain made, has more stupid moves in the Cup Series than those 3, not time at the lower series. Well, I mean, Noah Gregson's only raced in the Cup Series for a little while, so I mean, it's not apples to apples. It's okay. You don't have to like Ross Chastain, Molten. It's all good, bro. Daniel Robertson says, I was waiting for Bubba to start a fight with himself. Yeah, because he was definitely throwing the blocks there. But at the same time, man, what do you do in that situation? You're trying to win the race, no doubt about it. RK says, heck yeah. Rowdy Busch, RCR with the win, no doubt about it. Kyle Busch, 2 wins so far this season. So that terrible RCR equipment apparently is not that terrible, right? Jeff Henson saying adult candy, talking about the sponsor. RCR started at Dega in a 69. Of course, his sponsor this year was this race was McLaren grills, custom grills. The first win for McLaren in a long time. Haha. So there you go. There's your McLaren joke. RCR started at Dega in 69, says Duke Chronic. Yes, there you go. It's always a special win when RCR wins at Talladega. Quiet Cat says Bubbles tried to off Larson at Vegas last year. Then tried to fight him in the infield. Yeah, that was not Bubba Wallace's shining moment, that's for sure. Molten Ray says, if I'm Eric Almirola and Ryan Blaney, I would be going over and kicking Chastain's tailpipe because apparently, like Bush says, at COTA, he doesn't know how to use his brain, basically. I don't know about all that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like everybody at the end of the race was going for it, trying to get the win. So, like I said, if you want to pull against Ross Chastain, but he didn't do anything any differently, other than he's Ross Chastain and they're trying to paint the bad guy narrative on Ross Chastain. You can look throughout the field and find a bunch of people that drive the exact same way he does. They just, it is what it is. People just don't like him for whatever reason. Danielle Dunn says, "Nice shirt. I appreciate it. I got the old. I got this at Martinsville. Actually, that's where I picked this one up. So pretty quickly was able to use it. Like I said, I actually wore this one for the race, so I actually didn't have to change shirts for this one. Glad Kyle won. Also says Danielle Dunn. So that's pretty cool as well. Say Kyle, not Kyle. Wasn't able to be focused on the race and caught glimpses with no audio. What happened to the fives roll cage? So Ryan Preece was trying to avoid the wreck as Larson flew back up the track, and he gassed up instead of just hitting the brake and slowing down as much as he could. And basically, when he gassed up, he just nailed him, and it actually bent the thing up in a V shape right there at the passenger side door. Quiet Cat said rent-free Ross is at it again. He's got molten rage and got him bad. Says Quiet Cat. Jeff Henson, did you see the 18 spots off pit road? I didn't see that one. 18 plus spots off pit road. So there you go. Blaney didn't catch a. Oh, Blaney can't catch a break. Yeah, that's for sure. If he didn't have bad luck, he would have no luck at all. That's a fact for Ryan Blaney this year. Bear down, Adam. Chicago Bears fan. So there you go. It looks like I think from the logo there. Lamar Barnes said, "LOL." At Quiet Cat. Duke Chronic says, "Win Clint's money." Last question was, who will finish better, the 8 or the 1, and how many spots difference? So, it was 18. So there you go. That's what the 18 spots were about. Bubba fights himself, says Jeff Henson. I mean, that's honestly he does. He's super hard on himself. If we're getting right down to it, I don't think anybody's harder on him than him. Let's see. Please talk about how Chevy squad planned to dump Gregson. Dave on 43 radio was talking about it during the caution. 100% planned, says Damon Wilson. So there you go. All of the Chevy drivers were gonna they were gonna shuffle Noah Gregson back anyway. So you can say what you want to about it. It was apparently it was strategy according to the in-car radio from all the Chevy teams. Jeff Henson says, "So funny." Sven Larson says, "Almost won the pool when Bubba 23 would wreck. Darn." So he had Bubba in the pool there. You were looking good for a long time, and then just didn't go your way. I've been there before, buddy. Daniel Dunn with a thumbs up and a smiley face over the Kyle Busch win. Cheers. Cheers weren't for you, Bubba. Nobody cares about you, says Roofer. So he is also an anti-Bubba fan as well. Damon Wilson, listen to the 43 radio under caution if you can. I'll have to check that one out. I appreciate it, Damon. I can't believe I'm saying it. Congratulations to the 8 car, says T-Van. Jeff Henson says the 8 car rules. Mark Barnum, KFB would not have won if he would have pitted like his crew chief told him to. That's a good point. Like he stayed out. He made the call to stay out. Say Kyle, not Cal. And he said he did that because they needed the win. They didn't need a good finish. Say Kyle, not Kyle says, I can't fault Ross. There was a gap and he took it. I agree with you 100% on that. And that's what I'm saying. The same thing with Blaney, and I'm saying the same thing with Bubba and Noah blocking. You got to block in that situation too if you're the car in front. So I'm not blaming anybody. It's just a green, white checkered deal. You're going for the win. You got to go for the win. Who cares about second because it's just as bad as last in this playoff format. I can't fault Ross. There was a gap and he took it. He was already inside of that car and that made contact with him and that started the wreck. I agree. Noah Gregson came down late, but at the same time, I understand what Noah was trying to do. I'll be surprised if Chastain doesn't get booed when he was in the race because he kind of deserved it at this point. He's doing a really good job at being a villain. Win, not win. When he wins, I got you. Stupid Roofer, T-Van, same here. So Roofer cheering on the 8 car was surprised. He thought he'd never see that day as well. Robert Stone, not Ross's fault. He was shoved in there by the 5. Yeah, so that's the other thing. Kyle Larson gave him a pretty good push. So Ross Chastain had to go somewhere with it. So it sort of is what it is at a plate race at the end of the day. Gojo, Bubba should receive a penalty for leaving his car after the wreck. He should not leave his car until AMR. I think he's okay with this one because I think the race was over. Then I should get a ride to the care center. This is the second time. I think he's going to be okay this time because the race was over with, but I'm not sure exactly the ruling on that one. Lost where I was at. Where was it? Gonna go with Delmar Kaufman here. Great move by the 43 on the bottom to take fifth. Yeah, so he was fifth, but they bumped him back to sixth. So another sixth for the 43 car, but they gave fifth to. They said at the end of the scoring loop that Brad Keselowski was in front of him, so they gave Keselowski fifth. But a sixth place finish for Eric Jones is definitely a good one, no doubt about that. He needed that momentum for sure. Great win, 15 years since the last Talladega, well deserved. Great win for RCR, great for morale, says RK. Yeah, so 2012 was the last time Kyle Busch won, I think at a restrictor plate track or at Talladega, one or the other, I can't remember. No, the pool is when the 23 will wreck. Oh my God. So that's savage. But it is one of those prop bets. So there you go. Sven Larson with the prop bet going on there. Oh man, that is savage, dude. Molten Rage, Gojo, that is the craziest thing. All right, let's not insult people. Come on, Molten, you're better than that. Don't insult people. Don't call people stupid. Unless you're going to call me stupid, I can deal with it. Mark Barnum, Freddie Kraft will be angry on DVC this week. LOL. Him and Bubba are two peas in a pod. Yeah, so Freddie Kraft is already in his feelings. He said, we gave it our best shot. So we'll see. We'll see. Which is all good. Freddie Kraft stays in his feelings, and that is what makes that show good because he just puts them out there. He knows what he's doing. He knows what's good for business. He's good about hyping that type of stuff up. The goat must be proud. Not says Jeff Henson. Hope all is well, buddy. We want this style of racing to go chalk it up to. And let's move on to the next week. Glad to see everyone walk. Or Damon Wilson says, when somebody listens to the 43 radio, Chevy gets fined for intentionally wrecking the 42. Give me credit. LOL, says Damon Wilson. Yeah, so that might be coming too. Who knows? Robert Marks Ross was pushing great all day. I was watching his in-car. Noah was bouncing and drifting. Ross stayed on his bumper for a bit, but I'd have jumped down too. Yeah, Noah Gregson's car did look pretty unstable when they were getting aggressively pushed. I will say that. Freddie Kraft on door bumper clear. The super speedway package sucks. That's about it now. Yeah, that's probably going to be close to what he says there. Josh Berry to the 4 car says Robert Stone. It could happen. He's pretty good, and I wouldn't blame him on that one. I'm going to be honest. Bubba Haight is so forced right now. He's doing what every single frustrated driver does, and they get out of the car. What makes him any different? I don't know. I wasn't hating on him. So Jeff Henson, Josh to the 4, yes. So another one for Josh Perry to the 4 car. Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on Bubba Wallace. Like I said, he made the blocks that anybody would have made, and if you're not disappointed that you lost the race, I don't know. Like I said, he threw his Hans thing on the ground, but he didn't throw it hard enough to intentionally try to break it, which I don't know if you could break those things anyway. Keep the same energy when another driver does the same thing. I think I've been pretty consistent. I don't know. Let's see. Say Kyle, not Cal. I think on Sirius XM before the race, they said the KFB win at Dago was in 08. His first time in the 18 car. Hey, so there you go. Duke Chronic says Freddie's been with Bubbles forever. Yeah, he's moved with him through, I know at least since Petty. So he's probably with him down there in the trucks and all that too. Jeff Henson says KFB. Steve Black says Bumper Wallace couldn't hold his line. Took out my boy Brad trying to block a run. He couldn't stop. Says Steve Black. Brad did get 5th, though, so at least you got that. Lonnie Johansson, what about the 41 and the 5? That was bad. Yeah, I can't believe the 41 gassed up. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Barry Von Weebs, Chastain has the brain size of a watermelon seed. Talking about Chastain. So, yeah, he's aggressive. There's no doubt about that, Baron. Jeff Henson says capping. I don't know who's lying over there. Steve, literally everyone couldn't hold his line. It's Talladega. It's a super speedway. No one could hold a line. Look at what happened with Noah. They cannot hold a line, says Moulton. RK says Blaney took out Newman. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, but he was actually trying to push him. Like, that wasn't a dirty move. He was actually trying to push Newman. So I don't know. But yeah, you can still call it an aggressive move. He also there was some aggressive move between Penske drivers. Where he was either chopped off or he chopped off somebody. So, yeah, he drives, I guess, aggressively too, or has in the past. Bruce Garvey looking at Preece's head fly forward in the car. Thank God for the Hans device. Yeah, 100%. And saved him from himself because he gassed up there, which Yeah, it's just so dumb to me. Why would you gas up there? Just slow down as much as you can. The Chastain hate feels really forced. LOL says Quiet Cat. No, it's not, says Molten Rage. So there you go. You either like Chastain or you don't. So here you go. Let's end the Chastain debate right here with a little poll. Let's make a poll here. Let's see. Start a poll. Here we go. Here we go. Ross Chastain, love him or hate him. Those are the two options. Chastain, love or hate. Pretty simple. All right, let's see. That 8 car was just slammed out of turn 3. That thing was just hooked up. Get ready, folks. I'm staying with my prediction, says Roofer. So Roofer's going with 8 wins for the 8 car across 3 series, by the way. So there you go. Looking good so far. You're up to 3. So I think there's a good chance you might hit it at this point. You see the look on dude's face when he T-boned. Says Jeff Henson. Yeah, I don't think Ryan Preece will ever gas up again. At least I hope he doesn't, because it was pretty dumb. Bush hit Larson hard twice and took him out. Says Randy Harrison. I didn't see that one, but like I said, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm 100% sure everybody was driving aggressively today because it was hard to make your way through the field. So, like I said, I don't think Ross Chastain did anything different than anybody else. I think they were all driving pretty hard here today. Roofer says 4 wins for KFB. I thought he was going with 8 wins for KFB. So we'll see here. Preece was going to try to get out of here. That's what he was trying to guess. I mean, I understand what he was trying to do. That doesn't make it any less stupid. Just because you were trying to do something doesn't make it any dumber. When the yellow light comes on, get off the gas. Like, that is pretty much the rule that you learn pretty much very early on. So it is what it is. Talking about lines, Denny Hamlin has entered the chat. Says Steve Black. Gojo, it was racing. I can't blame Bubba for being pissed. MJ was there. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals. I'd be mad if I lost too. David Pate, I was there. Bush got cheers and no booze. It was so weird. Yeah, 100%. Like, Kyle Busch winning that race and getting cheered. Who had that on their bingo card last year? Nobody. Jeff Henson, Denny, LOL. Quiet Cat says democracy or something. Chevy planned to dump the 42, says Damon Wilson. Yeah, so apparently somebody's in-car has that there. Just ask, okay, after that move, now what, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens going forward, if anybody's mad and if there's any retaliation or anything like that, for sure. So far, 71% are on the love train for Ross Chastain. So looking pretty healthy there, that people like Ross Chastain, looking like it is a planned mainstream media narrative that they want him to be the bad guy here, because it looks like a lot of people like him. Let's see here. It was racing. Can't blame Bubba for being pissed. MJ was there. Let's see. Rowdy fan for life, says Jenna Allison. I'm so happy. Yeah, he got it done today. He did what he had to do. He kept his car clean and was there at the end. And that's all you got to do at these type of races. Love Chastain or hate him. He is good for NASCAR, says Mark Barnum. I agree with you. Jeff Henson says yes. I say Kyle, not Kyle. Next poll needs to be who do you dislike the most? Chastain, Bubba, Logano, and Hamlin. That's a pretty good poll. So you know what? Let me, for once on this channel, we're going to end the poll on time. We're going to end this poll right here because it looks overwhelmingly Chastain happy. So we're going to start this other one. And who do you want in there? Chastain, Bubba, Logano, or Hamlin? I know who's going to win this one. Here you go. Her request. Who do you dislike more? Let's see here. William Campbell saying MKM. Bubba just keeps wrecking MJ's cars. He will dribble Bubba's head like a basketball, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, it gets expensive after a while, but this one, I don't necessarily, I don't know what you could have done any different if you're trying to win. The yellow light wasn't out until he made, dude, he saw the wreck in front of him. Molten. Like, you can't gas up. You can't gas up when you know a caution's coming. Come on, bro. You see cars wrecking in front of you on a super speedway, you can't gas up when you're going 200 miles per hour. That's, I don't know, bro. You can argue. We're just going to agree to disagree on that one. Let's see. Do you think Nobu's for Kyle because he's in a Chevy now? Like, do you want somebody really coming at your door at 200 miles per hour if you're racing, Molten? Like, that's the question I want to ask you. If I gassed up and saw you wrecking, and I gassed up thinking I could get past you and drilled you in the side of the door, would you be happy with that? Do you think that is safe? That's the point I'm making about gassing up under yellow. It's freaking stupid. And you can defend it all you want to. And I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to slide by him, squeeze by him, whatever. Still stupid. Still dumb. Not safe. Say Kyle, not Kyle. Jeff Burton does not accept the results of the Ross poll. Yeah, so Jeff Burton definitely anti-Ross. Wait until Ross Chastain's the 9 and see how much they love him. Well, today the 9 car loves him because he pushed Chase Elliott to a stage victory in stage 1 or stage 2, one of the stages. Which stage was it? Stage 1. Stage 1, Ross Chastain pushed him to a stage win. So right now, Chase Nation loves him. Bubba was low on talent on a car that was high on speed, says Damon Wilson. So I don't know, man. He's pretty good at these tracks. That being said, a lot of people don't like him, so I understand that. William Thomas, I don't think the 5-car roll cage will pass tech after that. Yeah, that car's trash. It's done. They're going to need a new roll cage, at least a new center section at the very least. Ross was doing what everybody else was, and that was trying to win, says Nathan Urich. I agree with you 100%. Bubba scored points in the segments and ran good today. Good day, says Duke Chronic. Next poll after this should be overtime or no overtime. So, yeah, so, I mean, shocker, Bubba Wallace wins, most disliked. Let's see here. We'll start another poll. You want to keep overtime? Do you want to get rid of overtime? Should overtime stay? Yes or no? All right, let's jump into it. It wasn't yellow when he hit the 5. There was yellow. It happened after, says Molten. It's still stupid, dude. Like, you can die on that hill. I'm going to go down this hill. So we agree to disagree. It was a dumb move by Ryan Preece to gas up while he saw a car wrecking, trying to slide by it. It was stupid. I'm going to die on that hill. You can go die on the hill of Ryan Preece is a genius for gassing up and hitting somebody at 200 miles per hour. Aaron Flynn, Earth 2 Gen 4 cars with modern safety and technology for a throwback at Darlington. That would be cool. I don't know if they're going to. Ever do that because that would be not cost effective. They're all about cost effectiveness right now. P.S. Sorry, but oh my God, Rowdy fan for life, says Jenna Allison. How do you like J.J. Yaley almost getting the top 10 finish? Says Awesome Fair. I thought it was awesome. So I was pretty stoked about that myself. Gojo said gassing was a stupid, unsafe move. I agree with you. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like, I just don't get it. But like I said, he's gonna die on that hill. So I'm done talking about it. Ryan Preece will make the Final Four at Phoenix in Earth 2 for sure, no doubt about it. He's well on his way to doing it. He's how to influence people and make friends with Ryan Preece, OJ and Toothpaste. JD Mayo Wallace gets too much publicity even when he wrecks, says JD Mayo. Yeah, he's just super polarizing, man. Like the dude can't like walk outside and fart without somebody having an opinion about it. He's just one of those dudes. It's just the way it goes. Haley Deegan's the same way. Haley Deegan can't walk outside and do anything without somebody being like, I can't believe she did that. Or vice versa. Oh, that was the greatest thing I ever saw. Like it goes both ways. So it's one of those deals. David Pate Larson took a hit. Super happy it was on the passenger side. Yeah, no doubt about it. I voted for Denny. I haven't liked him the longest, says Quiet Cat. Yeah, so a lot of people are on the anti-Denny deal. So I guess whoever finished second in that poll would actually be more of who impressive. So actually, Joey Logano finished second in that poll. Ross and Denny Hamlin tied for 11%. So there you go. Joey Logano more hated than Ross Chastain or Denny Hamlin right now. So who knew? Napa Racing Fan says Cup wins for points in 2023, 7 for Chevrolet, 2 for Toyota, 1 for Ford. Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be a more evened out season, but it has not come out that way, and it hasn't been because Chevrolet's had all this raw speed, like Hendrick has. But recently, Chevrolet's really just been getting lucky and just lucking into these wins more than anything else. Like today, the fastest cars, without a doubt, were Toyotas and Fords, and once again, Chevrolet lucks into the win. Martinsville, the fastest cars were Toyotas and Fords. Chevrolet lucks into the win. Even Kyle Busch in his interview said he lucked into that win. So it's just been this year. It's just been the way the ball has sort of bounced for Chevrolet because I think the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I think Toyota and Ford have had the faster cars. So kind of interesting that it's played out like this. Not interesting if you're a Ford or Toyota fan, though. It's irritating. So if you love you some Rowdy, say heck yeah, says Cassandra Keller. Aaron Flynn, none of the above. So Aaron Flynn doesn't dislike any of them. Dr. Moret says 100% stupid by Preece. Baron Von Weave says timed events are the answer, period. I mean, that's one way to go about it. That would take some time for people to get used to, but I'm not totally against it because these green, white checkers, in my opinion, have got to go. They want to save these drivers and teams money. The best way to do it is get rid of the green, white checkers because that's when 9 times out of 10 you wreck the most cars. Cole Custer should come back to the 41. Preece isn't ready, says JD Mayo. Kyle Busch is making RCR a lot of money. Z200 says, I agree with you. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but they tweeted out the McLaren website, the McLaren Grills website, Custom Grills website. It has gone down because it's got so much traffic after Kyle Busch won that race, people going onto that website trying to buy stuff. I told Danny B on Twitter, I was like, I hope RCR shows that to every potential sponsor they go to. So I think it would help them get some more sponsors going into the future there, that they're crashing websites when that guy does good things. 50%, it's 50-50 right now on the poll. So do you want green, white checkers to stay? 50-50 right now. I'm obviously vehemently want them gone, but I'm only half right there according to the poll. So that's cool. I like that. Let's see. Any fan watching from 80 to 90 want to keep overtime? I absolutely hated seeing races end under caution. I watched it back then. I didn't have a problem with them ending under caution. Dale Earnhardt's only Daytona 500 win came under caution, so I didn't have a problem with that myself. But I understand some people want to see the green, white checkers at least one attempt at it. So I understand both sides of it. I just never had a problem with it back in the day, so I never understood why they went to the green, white checkers, but it is what it is. Danny Price, it sure looked to me like the 5 was pushing hard on that one. They were all going for the win. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, you can blame Ross Chastain because he did make the move, but he had to do something with that momentum. You can blame Noah Gragson because he made the late block, but anything differently than any of those 3 drivers in that situation were already to go for wins. Jeff Henson, happy for RCR. Mark Barnum, Custer should go back to go-karts. Oh, golly, Custer getting some hate there. Let's see. Casey Dean, are we positive he gassed up? I'm not so sure. Casey Dean. Well, they showed the in-car, and you can hear him gassing up when he's getting into him. So I don't know, unless the audio was off somehow, which sometimes does happen. So you never know. Delmar Kaufman, caution laps should not count with 20 less laps to go. That would eliminate some of the wrecks. Yeah, it definitely could. Jenna Allison, heck yeah, I love me some Rowdy. I'm a NASCAR purist, so whole decision says Roofer. So he's going with yes, get rid of overtimes. Great move getting the Candyman, says Jeff Henson. KB2, Joe Gibbs Racing 0, says Lonnie Johansson. Christopher Bell has won a race, so Joe Gibbs Racing does have 1 win. So it's 2-1, but Kyle Busch is winning. William Thomas says the 5 car cage wasn't at spec before the crash. The 6 took a lot harder hit in the Gen 6, and it didn't bend. Hey, so there you go. There's always a conspiracy theory when something happens. So did they go in there and re-weld in some lightweight tubing? Here we go. Take it to tech. Let's see what happens. We need another penalty. No, we don't. Let's see here. Are you mad at Ryan Preece right now? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I'm not mad at him. Just what he did was so dumb. Like, it's one of those things that literally you just don't do. I'm not mad at him, but it was a stupid move. I'm getting tired of having to defend a driver for making a rational decision. He didn't know the 5 was going to come back on the track, so he Didn't know it was still green. You know what? Moulton? We're going to put an end to this right now. Here we go. Ending this poll. Starting another poll. This is going to be the one of polls. There you go. Should Ryan Preece have checked up when the yellow came out? There we go. Me and Moulton are going to stop talking about it. We're going to throw it to you guys. So there you go. Let's see. Escobar says Ryan Preece is driving stupid because he's angry that he's underperforming in his best ride and it's making him drive dumb. I feel like he does feel a lot of pressure. So we'll have to see about that. Say Kyle, not Cal, NASCAR on Tuesday. We took the 5 back to R&D, and after review, we have docked the 5 60 driver owner points, 100K fine, and the crew chief is suspended 4 weeks for unapproved roll cage adjustments. So there you go. That could be what's coming down the pipe there. Damon Wilson, 500 miles exactly, not 525, not 510, not 517. Yeah, NASCAR purists, that's 100% what they want. Tan Dog 58, a little bummed. JJ Yaley got dropped off to 11th. Yeah, I feel like he had a nice top 10, but at the end of the day, they went back to the previous scoring loop. So it is. The King could still win. LOL, says Jeff Henson. As far as restrictor plate racing, if it's one of those, if you got a chip, you got a chance. If you got a car, you got a chance. That's 100% true. Jenna Allison says, P.S. Your shirt, Kyle, is pretty dang cool. I'm wearing mine too. Hey, so there you go. That is one of the better T-shirts they had in the. They're all pretty cool though. In the RCR merch hauler at Martinsville. Richard Petty's last win was under caution, 200. So there you go, Delmar Kaufman. Richard Petty's last win was under caution. That's pretty cool. Jeff Henson says yes. Gojo says if you have to keep it, one green white checkered works for me. Yeah, so one attempt at it I think would be fine. You just don't want to rack them up 3 or 4 times and just keep tearing up equipment. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But I just want to be sure he actually gassed up. Says Casey Dean. Yeah, so I'll definitely go back and look at it again. But it looked like on TV, unless the audio was mismatched, that he did gas up Aaron Flynn. And look, I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to shoot the gap and miss him. I understand he wasn't trying to be dangerous. But at the end of the day, it's not what you're trying to do. If you've ever gotten a speeding ticket and you were trying to go the speed limit and you just lost concentration for a minute, they're not worried that you were trying to go the speed limit. They're worried about what you did, right? So it's one of those deals. Instead of going to L.A. or Chicago, that money should go to the teams to build the cars for the throwback. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with that. And also it could go to some cars to run a proper dirt race with dirt late models. All kinds of things they could spend the LA and Chicago money on. Chicago, oddly enough, more expensive than the LA Coliseum race. Who knew? Some drivers I used to hate and now I like a lot are Harvick and Brad K, says Sonny V. Yeah, it's crazy how a guy sticks around long enough and you just warm up to him in a way. Quiet Cat says Custer won $100,000 yesterday by default, but still, yeah. Cole Custer, he was definitely the man yesterday. He got the the Xfinity 4. He got the Dash for Cash. That's what it's called. He got the old Dash for Cash. So he's $100,000 richer over there in that series. Even though Kyle Busch said he lucked out, but him staying back on the track, I think, was a strategy. And then the last pit change, Kyle moved up to 7th place. Normally, Kyle drives up front. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, you never know which way these races are going to bounce, and that strategy to stay out that he made from inside the car ended up being the race-winning strategy. Ryan Blaney said it best: you can't block 3 times without having a wreck. Says Donnie Love, and yeah, Bubba Wallace said, "Look, it's not Ryan Blaney's fault; it's 100% my fault. He owned it. He took ownership of it." Molten Rage says, "Also screw the toxic Larson fans. They made someone who I actually was pretty friendly with to have to deactivate their account because they want pieces of garbage to him because he's a Preece fan." Yeah, like don't do like that's one thing for sure. Just because you pull for a dude, like don't like force people off social media. That's lame for sure. And that's not just Larson fans. That's whoever you pull for. Jeff Henson says cheaters, LOL. Dr. Moretz says you can't fix stupid. Jeff Henson says Bubba. Napa Racing fan says, I'm a fan of Chastain, but he made that move way too early in the first overtime. Yeah, I mean, look, he thought that was his move to go for the win. He didn't know Noah Gragson was going to come down. I mean, common sense would have told you Noah Gragson was going to try to block it, but it is what it is. His eyes got big. He thought he was going to get him another win. So I don't know. It's hard to knock somebody for going for a win. But yeah, I mean, you can make the argument he went too early. Stephen Emilio Jr. says, do you know what communication was with the spotter? How do you know his spotter wasn't telling him to go? Nobody does, because that's not what was heard, or it was played. All you heard was him gas up and crash. Still dumb in my opinion. You just got to know not to listen to the spotter in that situation. Let's see here. Jeff Henson says, try, cry. Bruce Harvey, please get rid of stage cautions. Only good for bathroom breaks. Hey, I'm with you there, Bruce. You don't even have to get rid of the stages. Just get rid of the cautions for them. Jeff Henson says the 11, LOL. Congrats, Rowdy, says lost knowledge. Hell yeah, over 100 people in the chat, BB. My work here is done. I fulfilled my promise from day one. I appreciate it, Roofer. You're the man. Heck yeah, says Jeff Henson. Dawson Fair, did you see that Greg Van Alst will be making his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut at Atlanta for Alpha Prime Racing? That is some of the best. I didn't see that, but that's some of the best news I've seen, man. I want to see that dude do really good. Jenna Allison said, I'm just glad no one seriously was injured today. I don't like the new car, but it sure is strong. Yeah, same here. I'm glad nobody was injured all weekend with all the cars, because there were some crazy wrecks this week. David Pate says, I got a new Larson shirt, even though I said I wouldn't buy one after Atlanta. Escobar said he gassed up. You hear him let off. Then he gassed it up and hit Larson. Sonny V says, Gojo with the voice of reason. One shot at overtime works. Yeah, like if you're going to have overtime, we don't need multiple ones. I'll definitely say that. The 8 looked like he ate the bird, says Jeff Henson. For a couple of years, there was only one attempt at green-white checkers at super speedways, and everyone hated it. Seems consensus is either unlimited or none, says Beast1624. So that's a good point. Nerd Channel says Cup race was the best I've seen ever. Hey, so there you go. A lot of people did enjoy this race, despite sort of the controversial or endings or the controversial wrecks or whatever you want to say. Lost my spot. Mike Menzer says, when Bubba was in the lead, I was hoping he would get crashed. I don't like him due to 2020 and what happened there. So Mike Menzer, not a Bubba Wallace fan. Jenna Allison, going to be weird. Barbecue for the best friend forevers. Talking about Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace there, because they are good friends, and they got into a tangle there. But it looks like Bubba Wallace has already owned it, that he blocked late. So I don't think it'll be a big hangover. Ryan Blaney might be mad that he lost out on another race because of how somebody drove him. Howdy, let's get rowdy. KFB is winning, says RKI 15. The longer a driver stays, the more I like him. Smoke, Kyle still sucks, but I hate him less. LOL, says Gojo. Jeff Henson says, heck yeah. BFF, Bubba and Ryan Blaney are BFF, says Jen Allison. Yeah, I got you. Let's see. KFB and RCR in the house, y'all. Jeff Henson says BFF, LOL. Adult candy makes winners, says Jeff Henson. Duke Chronic says, when the yellow comes out, you can't gain positions. You got to back it down safely. Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And 77% do agree with that. Say Kyle Nakal, Duke, I'm worried about the same. Not so much with the race, but people attending, getting bad things done to them from parking to their seats and back is what I'm worried about. Yeah, that's something you definitely got to worry about. Especially with tourists being targeted here recently. So that's one of those deals. William Thomas with the super chat. I appreciate it. There is the fist bump there. That was pretty crappy one. So let me aim. There you go. Fist bump to the camera. Let's see. Escobar, I miss plate racing from the 90s. I hate plate racing where everybody in the field is within 2 seconds of each other. A lot of people miss it from the 90s, and a lot of people miss the tandem plate racing. A lot of people want to see that come back. Not true for the little ones, says Jeff Henson. William Thomas says, I want to see Mopar back. It's weird seeing Ram sponsor parts of the race, but nothing on the truck. Yeah, I'm with you. And if I'm really sick of hearing Lainey Peaches Wilson and her stupid "I Got a Heart Like a Truck" song. I'm pretty much over that commercial. I'm pretty much never going to buy a Dodge truck because of that, and I pretty much never want to hear another Lainey Wilson song because I hear that crap every single race like 5 or 6 times. I'm over all of it. They need a new commercial. Super bad. Say Kyle Nakal, Chicago seems like it's going to be a giant mess. 100%. If it even happens at this point. So I feel like that's a fair question. I say they have a driver race to the Porta John for the pole position at the All-Star race. Right now, if that happened, I got to put my money on Brad Keselowski. He looks like he's got some wheels there, at least from the other week. I still think the best Cup race this year was Richmond, says Napa Racing Fan. Ironically enough, I might not disagree with you there. 11 disappears, says Jeff Henson. I didn't like Bubba having a temper tantrum and peeps be all, says Jenna. Jenna Allison says, poor Bubba. David Pate, love your content. Keep up the good work. I'm gonna keep doing the best I can, David. Let's cry together for the Bubba, says Jeff Henson. Mark B, that's a good one, says Cassandra Keller. Thank you, William Thomas. No to the Chicago street race. That ain't neat. Yeah, it seems like a really bad situation right now. So I don't know. I don't know if that one's going to get done or not. So it's going to be interesting to see. At some point, NASCAR is going to have to address it. They have pretty much ignored the situation and haven't said anything. And I feel like it's a topic that's off limit for mainstream media because I don't see any mainstream media person asking that question or talking about it. So I feel like NASCAR's told everybody to shut up about it. So eventually, they're not going to be able to not talk about it. I don't hear anyone complaining about the ratings for a change, says Aaron Flynn. Yeah, it was a good one. So the ratings should be up for this one. Kane Corliss says, Rowdy Nation. Jenna Allison says, LOL, the Bubba. Jeff Henson says, I saw a lot of empty seats. Unfortunately, Heart Like a Truck song sucks. Just like a long primal scream, says Sonny V. Yeah, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite. She's famous for things other than her voice. And that's where her backing comes from. Rowdy Nation 100%, says Jenna Allison. Say cow, not cow. I got a heart like a truck. And then the throw up emoji. Dover is going to be an awesome race. I got a heart like a truck. Oh, here we go. Heart like a truck comments. Here we go. Napa Racing Fan is definitely the worst ad right now. Tell me more. Tell me more. All I need is to try it first. They aren't far behind those. So Napa Racing Fan putting Heart Like a Truck at number 1 bad on NASCAR commercials, and number 2 bad is we got to try it first. That weird Coca-Cola Zero commercial. Gojo, I still have a gripe about the number of commercials on Fox. It's terrible. 55 to 8 laps. Come on, especially at a super speedway. If you don't like Lainey Wilson, you better not watch Yellowstone season 4 or 5. Says Beast 1624. I have not watched episode 1. I'm gonna wait for Yellowstone to finish however long it runs, and then I'll just binge watch the entire thing, so I don't have to wait. I'm not a big cliffhanger waiter around person since the Netflix era. The John Travolta commercial needs to go too. Oh God, yeah. Like, can we let go of Grease? Can we please let go of Grease and move on? John Travolta's been in so many other things that were not Grease related. You shouldn't buy a Dodge anyway. LOL, Quiet Cat. Well, I got news for you. There's going to be a Mopar product coming in about 500 subscribers. Stay tuned for more. Jeff Henson said they sold out. Heck yeah, Jenna, says Cassandra Keller. Mike Menzer, what tracks do you see Bowman and Chase getting a win at? Bowman pretty much anywhere, because that dude, like, either he's one of those dudes who shows up and he's really good. Bowman might actually just point his way in, even if he doesn't win. Chase Elliott, probably either a road course or a super speedway. He's actually getting really good at super speedways too. But Chase Elliott, same deal. Pretty much anywhere. That guy can win anywhere too. Both of those guys can get it done anywhere, so it's going to be hard to predict. Duke Chronic says where Bubba might get in trouble is tossing the Hans, because if you have a wreck, they want to inspect that and the helmet. Yeah, I don't know if how hard he threw it's really going to affect anything, but I do see exactly what you're saying there. Same thing with slamming a helmet. They want to see where it gets scratched up and stuff like that. Stupid roofer, Jenna Allison, please lay off the all caps. So Roofer doesn't. He thinks you're screaming at him, Jenna. Jeff Henson, try it first. Yeah, that commercial's terrible too. How come they didn't show MJ when Bubba choked? Says Ghost Zeke. I'm gonna go with Ghost Zeke. I hope I said that right. Ghost Zeke. He wanted to see MJ when Bubba choked the race away. I don't know if I'm the owner, I'm proud that he's trying to throw those blocks. I hate that he wrecks the car because that's costing me money. But I like that he's throwing the blocks and going for the win. So I don't know if I'm really super upset about that. Jeff Henson says like a truck. Aaron Flynn, who's your pick for Dover? My pick for Dover, Jimmy Johnson, because he's always good there. Now I'm going to go with Kyle Busch. I like either Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson at Dover. Off the top of my head, I need to look at the statistics to get my official pick, but just off the top of my head, I think one of the Kyles, maybe Chase Elliott. I think Chase Elliott's good there too. Kyle Larson's wreck was scary. Seeing the cockpit like that, he could have had some bad injuries. That's for sure. Just a bad deal. No, don't tell me what to do. Rowdy fan for life, says Jenna Allison. So she's saying the all caps are staying. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Molten Rage says, watch Evelyn be surprised at Dover and Todd Gilliland wins it all. Watch Evelyn and be surprised at Dover when Todd Gilliland wins it all. So Molten Rage going with Todd Gilliland to win at Dover. I like it. That's an aggressive pick. I like a good aggressive pick there, Molten. I like how you put it out there. She drives a 250 in her video. Says Gojo, so she's a F250 lady. So I was gonna make a terrible joke there, but I'm gonna leave it be. Leave it be. Keep it clean. There's children watching. Jeff Henson, silent treatment. I'm laughing my booty off, says Cassandra Keller. Stupid roofer with a rose from Jenna Allison. So there you go. She lower capped it there. Quiet Cat, congratulations, Bologna Burger. Yeah, a pretty cool win for Kyle Busch there. Back-to-back wins for Kyle in the NASCAR series. Kyle Larson and now Kyle Busch. Say Kyle, not Kyle. I'm convinced I have to try it first as a sleeper cell trigger phrase to activate double agents for rogue nations operating throughout the Southeast. It could be. It could be like back in the day they had these what do they call them? Like zombie radio stations that just played out something at the top of every hour, and it was like somehow you deciphered the code. So maybe that's what the you got to try it first commercials are all about. It's some type of code that is being deciphered by spies. I don't know. Kane Corliss, it's a decent song. That commercial killed it though. I mean, yeah, probably. Like I'm just so tired of hearing it that I've turned against Dodge trucks or Ram trucks, and I've turned against Peaches Williams there. Or Laney Cakes, whatever you want to call her. Sonny V, still remember when my wife dragged me to that movie Grease, longest 2 hours of my life. Yeah, I think a lot of people, you either like that movie Grease or you dislike it, and there's no in between. William Thomas, the Prime commercial was some BS that shouldn't be on TV. I don't remember that one. I have to think on that one. So I'm not remembering what that one is. I like the sliced bread, says Jeff Henson. This chat is the best, says Stevie Roofer. My driver just won. Of course, I'm going to be using caps. Thank you for caring, says Jenna Allison. But she has put it in lowercase now. She has acquiesced to your request, as they would say in Pirates of the Caribbean. Speaking of a guy who's red hot, who's on fire, impressive right now, Todd Gilliland is making front row's decision. I agree with you 100% on that. Todd Gilliland is making his case that he should never have been replaced for those 5 or 6 races. Escobar says, man, Kyle Larson needs to pretend he's sick for all restrictor plate races. Yeah, like that dude, he always gets in a wreck, and recently it has not been his fault. So, and he's actually been driving less aggressively at him, and he's been getting better results until he gets wrecked. So I don't know. Kane Corliss says the 8 there. BB, you going to the All-Star race? Probably not, unless I'm working for somebody in the Cars Tour. So that's looking like a no. Just can't afford that one. That one's astronomical as far as price goes. Same thing with Chicago. If they have it, it's so expensive. If I wanted to go, it's outside of my price range to go to a race. 3 Chi, Kyle Cush, Sven Larson. They made a pretty cool Kyle Cush shirt for 3 Chi. If you go to the 3 Chi website, it says Kyle Cush, and it's a pretty cool T-shirt. Jenna Allison, do you remember when MJ said to Bubba, I thought you'd be taller? That's pretty funny. So you really have to wonder what he thinks about Tyler Reddick then, because Bubba Wallace is about a foot taller than Tyler Reddick. So how about that? Let's go. Where are we at? I just lost it. I lost it. There we go. It would blow your mind to add up all the wreckage this weekend, says Donnie Love. Yeah, for sure. Duke Chronic raising his hands for all caps. Jeff Henson, love the chat. Funny as if. Napa Racing fan. Hendrick's success at Dover is almost impressive as Martinsville, even though Jimmy Johnson has 11 of their wins there. Yeah, so that's what I was referring to. Whenever you go to Dover, immediately my mind goes to Jimmy Johnson's going to win. Same thing with Charlotte Motor Speedway back in the day. How does miscommunication of all things get a race win? Crazy, says RC. Yeah, Kyle Busch said he heard him. He just decided to stay out there because they didn't need a good, solid finish. They needed a win. So Kyle Busch just pulled the audible and wanted to go for it there. 24 is always low-key fast at Dover. Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I was actually thinking about that myself. I say Kyle, not Cal. I should have mentioned his name. HMS could absolutely sweep the top 4 again. Oh, that's right. I've forgotten about that. They did a top 4 there. Just a matter of if the 48 realizes he's in a race and wants the top 5 instead of meandering in 20th. That's classic Alex Bowman. Donald Camp says, this is the first race I got to watch the season. It wasn't that great. Other than my boy Kyle. So there you go. At least your man won there. Jeff Henson, HMS, Jenna Allison, leave it be. My new mantra. Thank you, BB. Hey, there you go. 85 thumbs up. Go for 100. Yeah. So like, if you want to hit the thumbs up button and get us to 100, that would be super cool. I don't think that's ever actually happened when I was talking. It's happened once I've jumped off before. We might have done it one time while I was talking, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, if you want to hit the like button, I would appreciate it. If not, it's all good too. The 5-car, stupid. I hate this track. I hate it, says Shaggy Roger. Yeah, Kyle Larson, no luck on super speedways. Oh my God, I watched about those zombie radio stations on the Wi-Fi's channel. That was nuts. Oh, say Kyle, you know exactly what I'm talking about, dude. So yeah, you're probably one of like 3 people that know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I got wrapped into that. I had to watch the whole thing. They had it on either Netflix or some streaming service, so I had to watch the whole deal. 24 at Dover, 100% agreed. Says Duke Chronic, so he's going with Bowman there. Not a bad pick. He's definitely not Bowman. Golly, going with Byron there. Yeah, Byron's definitely not a bad pick there. Splash, thank you, BB, and chat. Y'all are awesome. Says Roofer. My daughter says when that Coke Zero commercial comes on, all 3 of her dogs get upset and leave the room. I don't doubt it. It's a really annoying tone to that commercial. Sorry, great day for the 8, says Jeff Henson. No miscommunication. Kyle just went and stayed out. Yeah, so Kyle Busch went rogue on him, and it paid off for him. Jeff Henson says, Captain, I'm going to take the 42 over the 54 for rookies at Dover. There you go. At some point, Noah Gragson needs to make this thing interesting, right? Let's see here. Jenna, you never know when you're watching your favorite driver's last win. Use those caps as much as your heart desires. Says say Kyle, not Cal. My solution to avoid the back commercials, turn down the TV and sound and listen to MRN and follow the drivers on scanner and in-car. That's not a bad idea, Beast. I like where you're going with that. Jenna says, say Kyle, not Cal. Hearts all around for you. Molten Rage says, also, I know you retweeted it on Twitter, but Austin Dillon continues to have a no good, very bad, terrible, horrendous season. Yeah, his luck might be a little bit worse even than Ryan Blaney's this season. Probably the only person that's had worse luck is Ty Dillon when he started the season off with like 3 blown engines, but Austin Dillon's had terrible luck this year, and so has Ryan Blaney. If those guys can snap out of their bad luck, it would probably help them, especially Dillon, because he's got to get a win, because that's 60 points. He can't just point his way in this year. He's going to need a win. Mark Barnum, I was going to the Kansas race, but there's a model train show close to my favorite pool player is playing that weekend, so I have to watch her. Hey, so there you go. I didn't know you were a model train collector, but that's pretty cool, man. Yeah. My knee was itching. Sorry about that. Escobar says, I'm hoping Larson's roll cage wasn't tampered with. Yeah, me too. But I don't know. I think it was just such a hard hit. That's why it been up like 200 miles an hour. I don't know that they're necessarily built for that at that particular angle. Roofer says, JJ, Austin Dillon found Kyle Busch. Says Jenna Allison. So yeah, he definitely had at least good luck in the offseason. Jeff Henson says, Busch. How do I follow your team? Says Gojo. Like my personal race team hasn't raced yet. The team I help with is the team I've been helping with in the Cars Tour is Tate Fogelman, and on the Pro Late model side, I've been helping Justin Whitaker. So he is the 44 in Pro Late models in the Cars Tour, and number 8, Tate Fogelman. The other number 8, not the Dale Jr. number 8, but Tate Fogelman, the Bull City Chevrolet in the Cars Tour. That's who I've been helping over there. At South Boston, I've been helping Jason Barnes and Craig Moore. So if you're watching at South Boston, those are the 2 cars I'm helping over there. And I think that's about it for this year. We're helping Lee Godbold at Orange County right now, and we've got 2 other people we're going to help at Orange County. But I'll let Craig announce those when he's going to announce those. So, but that'll be, I think Orange County's next weekend, and South Boston's the weekend after that. Anyway, Gojo says, I just read that one. Napa Racing Fan 927 says, I have the 164 collection of Hendrick sweeping the top 4 at Dover. Cool collection to have. Never took it out of the box. Yeah, that was a pretty cool achievement for it not to be at a restrictor plate track. So definitely just a cool deal there for sure. Baloney is blowing up, says Jeff Henson. William Thomas says they should try a reverse of Martinsville concrete on the straight and the asphalt in the corners. Yeah, they definitely that definitely would be something they could think about. But I don't know. Maybe just adding some banking. I don't know. I feel like you need to leave Martinsville alone, but it is what it is. Upset when the Bubba cries, says Jeff Henson. Jenna Allison says, thank you for everyone putting up with me. Much love. I've loved and followed Kyle Busch since 2008, and I've had many haters in my family. I can only imagine. Cassandra Keller says, I'm still laughing. Why would Kyle pit so he could get a 27th place finish, says Sonny V. Cap on, says Jeff Henson, either the 8 or the 5 or the 1 at Dover. Okay, I like what you're thinking there, Quiet Cat. I do like Ross Chastain at Dover too. That's not necessarily a bad choice off the top of my head. I haven't looked at the numbers, so I'm thinking you're actually pretty stout with your picks there. Great choice, Jenna. Let's talk about the babies, says Jeff Henson. Let's talk about the babies, says Jeff Henson. Stupid Roofer is happening, BB. You're welcome. You're becoming the premier pre and post race content, my friend. I don't know about all that. Brock Beard does a pretty good job, and so does Iceberg. So I watch both of those usually before I jump on here. Jeff Henson says, cry, cry, cry. But I appreciate you pumping me up, man. You can keep pumping me up. Feel free to keep going with that. Hopefully Austin convinced Richard to put his contract that gets 5% of RCR's purse from the 8 car. Hey, that would be a heck of a deal there for him for sure. I can't imagine HMR would play with the roll cages at a track like Talladega. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think it was just such a powerful hit, but a lot of people, like I said, this was mentioned earlier in the chat. Some people have the theory that maybe they did fiddle with them a little bit. Jeff Henson, appreciate it. There's the old fist bump. Jeff Henson with the super chat there. Thank you very much, sir. Molten Rage says, sorry, Jen Allison says, Rowdy is the dad. I wish I'd had maybe butthole, pardon my language, but KB is a good family man. I think he's a good family dude too. Molten Rage says, also this year, kind of make it or break it for Austin Dillon. The show is he really that talented, or is he just there because of his name, because he has Kyle Busch as a teammate, big standards? I think he's a good driver. I think he's made the playoffs enough times without Kyle Busch being there to prove he's a pretty good driver. But it's up to debate. A lot of people disagree with me on that one for sure. And he's definitely there because of his name. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But a good driver, says Jeff Henson. I made a promise to you. I appreciate it, Roofer. You're a man, dude. Just for those who don't know what me and Roofer are talking about, Roofer told me over and over again in regular comments on my regular videos, he's like, you need to do a live stream. He worked on me for about 2 months. And I said, all right, dude, I'm gonna do a live stream. But if nobody shows up, I'm not doing any more. So that's the promise he made to me. He said, if you do a live stream, I'll get a bunch of people watching it. So there you go. I appreciate you, Roofer. You're the man. Jeff Henson, but LOL. I met Kyle. He is flipping hilarious. Very dry sense of humor. Kind of a nerd too, says Jen Allison. Yeah, I can see that. T-Van says, what's the temperature where you're at in Indiana? Won't let go of winter. I think it's 40 degrees right now. I think it was like 60 something when I was driving home. And it was a nice warm day today. So probably in the 70s or maybe low 80s most of today. William Wagman says, have a great week, Bologna Burger, and all your racers. I've had enough for the day. Appreciate you hanging out with us, William. Cassandra says, we love you, BB. I love you guys back, Cassandra. Jeff Henson says, funny, T-Van 45 here in the corn patch. So there you go, up in the corn patch with Mark Barnum. Gojo, I agree. This is where I come after the race. It's real talk, says Gojo. I do my best, man. If you guys are doing most of the work. I'm just answering what you're putting out here. Houston Ocut says Elliott will win Dover, and there's a good chance. He's pretty good at Dover. It's going to be another test for him, though, because it might be another hot one. I know the heat in these cars is something that needs to be addressed as well. 48 for now, low 40s for Tennessee. In caps, BB the bomb, baby. I appreciate it, Jenna Allison. Thanks for that. Jeff Henson, Bubba Rules, Napa Racing Fan 927. I believe Hendrick will win at Dover, but Truex could break his winning streak at one of his best tracks, says Napa Racing Fan. Yeah, it's about time for Martin Truex Jr. and it's about time for Ryan Blaney to get a win. I think those guys are just ready to break out here. Say Kyle, now Kyle says, just think, guys, we're lucky. BB's channel is going to get so big, it's going to be impossible to read every comment. We're like finding that awesome band before everyone else does. You know what, though? I'm still going to try to read them, as many of them as I can. So I'm always going to try to do it as best I can. Napa Racing Fan talking about the losing. I know what you meant, the losing streak for Martin Truex Jr. Jeff Henson, smooth. JD Mayo, Kurt Busch has a championship. Don't forget. Yeah. Kurt Busch is definitely good. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Hopefully, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Ark, where are you from? Say Kyle, not Cal. Spot on, says B1624. T-Van was asking where Ark is from. William Thomas, Iceberg, complains too much after the race. Well, I mean, it's everybody's style is different, so he's got a good fan base over there. Duke Chronic, I look forward to this and the chat. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to keep it all going. And possibly add something else if it gets going good. Yes, it's a hit, says Jeff Henson. Bush Bros and the Labonte Bros rule. Yeah, a lot of Labonte fans for sure, no doubt about it. People were pretty stoked to see him in the booth the other week. Add another bar. Call Kyle Larson. There you go. Says Dennis Gillespie. T-Van 71 here in Volusia County. Hey, Florida, a nice balmy 71. I did watch that Florida Man series on Netflix. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. Pretty cool. I like the ending of it. More rage. Also remember when they said the green-white checkered rule is supposed to make the races end under green. Well, it's failing because most of the green-white checkers end under yellow, so it failed. I mean, that's a fair point. They're still ending under yellow, so yeah, that's definitely a fair point to make there, Moulton. Duke Chronic. If you pick a guy whose last name starts with a B. You got 5 wins so far, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, old Kyle Busch, he's off to a good start, and the rest of the Killer Bees. It's the season of the Killer Bees. Quite the community we have built here, says Roofer. Yeah, for sure, man. And you guys are the biggest part of it for sure. Without you, this would not be any fun at all. So I appreciate all of you for sure. I'm an owl. I love Rowdy. Owl equal. Old white lady is an owl, says Jenna Allison. So I hadn't heard that one before. Jeff Henson, lucky we are. I appreciate you too, Jeff. Mary Grubbs, Rowdy's my man. Gojo, I haven't seen anything about redoing the rear end of the next gen. Did they make the changes for this year? Yeah, they changed the rear end for this year. Add another bar, call it the Kyle Larson bar. Hey, so there you go. That would be I think that would get a lot of business for sure. Let's see. Jeff Henson, I love the crybabies. Napa Racing Fan, most of the drivers they've announced for the 75 so far were totally expected. Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, you kind of got to expect them because it's the 75 best. So I don't know what you could do with that one. I feel like the only surprise so far has been Randy LaJoy. That surprised a few people, but I don't have a problem with it, I guess. I feel bad for, like I said, I got to wait for the whole thing to play out before I make my comments on it. I feel bad for Eric Amarola, to be honest. He was close to breaking his winning streak, but then, of course, like what happened with when the contact cut down his tire and then the last green-white checker was so close. Yeah, he was making moves. Mary Grubbs says, Jenna, you too. So Mary Grubbs right back at you, Jenna Allison. Aaron Flynn, I was following the 5 in car and the 41. It was bad. Yeah, it was a pretty rough lick. Hopefully they're both okay the next day, because sometimes the next day you're even more sore, or always actually the next day you're more sore. But hopefully both of those guys are okay tomorrow. I jump down again. What am I doing? Second, Jeff Henson says second to last. Ricky, Delmar Kaufman, do you think Kyle Petty will make the Hall of Fame? Maybe not for his driving career, but charity work and TV. I could see that, like contributions to racing, like maybe making it in that way. I could see that for sure. Okay, so I got one. I've had a few glasses of wine. Cheers to you, Jenna Allison. Say Kyle, not Cal. There is a Florida Man game where you Google Florida Man along with your day of the month and birthday. and enjoy what comes up. Says Say Kyle, not Cal. Yeah, I think I did mine, and it was a guy hanging from a street light pole and dropping deuces on oncoming traffic. I think that was the last time I looked it up. That was the one for my particular birthday. So there you go. Jeff Henson, drink them up. Jenna, how much rowdy did you drink today? Cheers, fellas and ladies, says Roofer. Napa Racing fan, Bush, Blaney, Bowman. Byron, Briscoe, Busher, unless I forgot, are all drivers with the last name start with a strong B. Jeff Henson says, cry. Baron Von Weeb says, if the 5-car was found to be acid dipped, then I say take away all their charters, or at least take away that 5 charter for sure. Because if they're lightening them up, I agree with you there. It's definitely a safety issue, and you can't be doing all that for sure. Love these people here, says Jenna Allison. Cheers, stupid roofer. Anderson, Indiana. Unfortunately, old GM town, says T-Van. Jeff Henson says funny. Jeff Henson says I love bologna burger. I love you back, Jeff Henson. Jenna Allison says, to be honest, I miss Morgan Shepherd. He's still kicking. He was out there with somebody the other day. What you drinking tonight, says William Thomas. I'm drinking peach body armor. Peach, mango peach body armor. That's what I'm drinking. Duke Chronic, Napa Racing fan. Bell got a win, says Duke Chronic. So there you go. Jeff Henson, Bush. Dang it, I knew I forgot one, says Napa Racing fans. There you go. Old C. Bell, the guy that always everybody forgets, but he's super good. So I don't know why we always forget him. Okay, Wine, says Cassandra Keller. Molten Ray says, I do feel bad for Eric. It just sucks. Yeah, he was close. He'll break through eventually, too. He's going to be another one there, Molten. Jeff Henson, old number 8. Duke Chronic, 12 guys with the last name B. It's weird. That is weird. I didn't know that. Say Kyle, not Cal. Busted out laughing at your Florida man story. BB says, say Kyle, not Cal. Yep, that's the last one I checked. It's probably different now. That was probably in when did it start? Like 2017, 2015, somewhere in there when the Florida man stuff started. I wish Eric could have won his last year and gotten to the chase, but this is kind of how his whole career has gone. Yeah, I'm with you, unfortunately. Eric Amarola, there's no way he's not mad at Ross and Noah because because they both screwed you out of a potential win. Yeah, if you're Eric Amarola, you're definitely mad at both of them. Jeff Henson says, poor Bubba. Roofing comes early, BB and chat. Check you later, Stupid Roofer. Thanks for hanging out with us. Tommy Baldwin seems to be helping Rick Ware Racing. Oh, for sure, Delmar Kaufman. I've forgotten about that. So that definitely could be part of the reason they've helped out. Two away from 100 likes. Let's go. Yeah, so if you guys want to hit the like button, it would be much appreciated. Get to 100. But I'm going to jump off here in just a few minutes. So get your last questions in, and we'll jump off here in just a minute. Jeff Henson, you'll be fun. And Cassandra, too, says Jenna Allison. Ordered some Rowdy Energy this week, says Aaron Flynn. Rowdy Energy is actually pretty good. I like the apple and the cherry lime. I wasn't a big fan of the cherry lime, but all the other flavors I've tried are pretty good. The apple was my favorite. Tequila Rose today, says Cassandra Keller. So she's drinking a little tequila. Love from me, says Jeff Henson. The best chat, says Jeff Henson. Thomas Nichols, what's BB's not a typical super speedway race today? More mellow than normal. Yeah, most of the race was pretty mellow. I'll agree with you on that one. P.S. I'm not hitting on anyone. I just, lowercase. I'm just happy Rowdy won with RCR. So there you go. Todd Withrow, hopefully I said that right. Nice run for my favorite driver, Eric Jones. Hopefully a win soon. Shout out to JJ Yaley for the 8th place finish. I'm with Todd. I'm hoping that 43 team can break through pretty soon. Duke Chronic 43 is another guy who might get stolen by a top team. Yeah, I think that's going to happen too. Harrison Burton versus Noah Gregson rivalry continues from Xfinity, says Napa Racer fan. Yep. And hopefully it gets a little bit better going forward because right now it's being owned by I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else. Yeah, he wrecked him again today for sure. So we'll have to see what that happens. Jeff Henson says, I hit it 2 times. Oh, we're over 103. There you go. How about that? I appreciate y'all, man. That's really cool. I think that's the first time that I can remember that we've got 100 likes on a stream. So that's pretty cool, man. I never thought I'd actually see that. So that's really cool, actually. Who do you predict starts the playoffs with the most playoff points, BB? Say Kyle, not Cal is asking. I don't know. I'm going to go with William Byron right now. I'm going to go with William Byron. Outside pick of Alex Bowman because I think Alex Bowman's meshing really well with his crew chief. So that's the way I see that one going. Also, speaking of the guy that was non-existent today, surprising guy, Alex Bowman was straight up no show today. And I'm surprised by that question. Who was the winner today? I believe it was Rowdy Bush there, Jenna Allison. Jeff Henson says, Mellow. It's all good, Jenna, says Cassandra Keller. Just remember, if you miss yourself, just look in the mirror, says Mark Barnum. Alex Bowman has good hair, just saying, says Jenna Allison. So there you go. Alex Bowman with some good hair there. And for once, I'm going to remember to end the poll, and then we're going to jump off here after I read just a couple more. 87 votes and 67% said Ryan Preece should have checked up. So there you go. 2/3, just about a little over 2/3. Just remember, if you miss yourself, you can always look in the mirror. Typical Talladega kind of tame. Then, oh my goodness, says Gojo. Yeah. There is over 100. Got to impress the algorithm to help get the word out on BB, said Sunny V. Yeah, I appreciate it. Adult time. Smoke 'em up, says Jeff Henson. Jenna Allison, I look in the mirror every day and say, you got this, freak. I like how you pump yourself up there, Jenna. Stephen Roofer, I made a promise to you, BB. I appreciate you, Roofer. Baloney, drink something. Hey, there you go. There you go, Jeff. And with that, I'm going to jump off. I appreciate all y'all. It was fun. And I'm going to get to work on the recap video. I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace.